What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Willis. Welcome back to another episode of What You Talking About Willis podcast. As always, thank you all that's been with me from day one. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate your support. We are growing, and we're going to continue to grow. Okay? And your voices are continue to be heard. And if I got to be the vessel, I got to be the vessel. But thank you for the support. Those that are new here, welcome. What we do is because chaos wants truth at a time on the Willis on the Right podcast. Now, this week has been kind of crazy. Again, I just want to shout out the good work that ICE is doing and continue to do. I'm going to support ICE 100% and the president for allowing law enforcement to do their job. I'm always going to support that. So if anybody was wondering where I stand with ICE and the ICE agents, I support them 100%. Liberals are going crazy. They're trying to defend illegal immigrants. They're trying to defend stopping law enforcement from doing their job. They're trying to defend them attacking law enforcement while doing their job. And these politicians and these leftist leaders, the woke blacks, the Karens, the white liberals, they've all gone crazy. They've all gone crazy. And the fact that we are now at this point is a big problem. But I'm not going to be with y'all long today. I just want to talk about stupid Don Lemonhead. He's back at it again. How you get fired from one of the wokest news networks, CNN, Communist News Network. We all know what it is. How you get fired from there and then try to blame them, one of the woke networks, one if not the wokest. Blame them for firing you because you're black and gay, blah, blah, blah. And then he tried to use that narrative. It didn't work. So you know you're a problem if CNN fires you. You know you're a problem if CNN fires you. So he's been a problem. He's been a nuisance. He's a nuisance for everybody. Everybody knows this. Now, he's back at it again with another stunt. And now he's attacking churches. And on that note, it is surprising that some of these pastors out here are not more vocal about what happened in that church. We had, and also, as many shootings as we've had in churches, you would think that we have decided as society that we need to protect church and we need to protect schools. But my question is, why is it always the Christian church being attacked? Why? I don't see no other churches being attacked like this. I don't see no other religions being attacked like this. As a matter of fact, it seems that Christianity is being pushed out more and more every day. And I'm not wrong. And nobody's saying anything about it. Christianity is the most attacked religion, I would say, in the world. And they're trying to remove it from everything. Don Lemonhead went into this church, thought it was okay for him, his little clan of protesters, to walk in a church that's doing absolutely nothing wrong, minding their own business, to come in there with cameras and storm this church, interrupting everything that's going on. Can you imagine how scared everybody was in that church? Again, we've had church shootings. We've had liberal maniacs go into churches and actually harm people and shoot people and kill people. And so when somebody storms into church like this, you don't understand that there's an inherent fear there. And his dumb self gets a camera, mic, and wants to go antagonize the pastor and the members in this church. I want y'all to see this video if you haven't seen it already. And if you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself believing in Jesus Christ, I would be surprised if you weren't upset by this. Because this right here is a big problem. A big problem.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship.
And this is what liberals do. See, they try to, first they hate the Constitution, and then they try to use the Constitution to cover up for what they're doing. Peacefully protest, peacefully assemble. What about this is peaceful? You cannot just go into a building and interrupt everything what's going on in the name of peacefully protesting. This is not peaceful at all, as a matter of fact. You're interrupting something that has nothing to do with anything you're talking about, and you want to try to use the Constitution to justify your actions here. This is what a liberal clown does. They're idiots.
Jesus, because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship.
Do you see how he's trying to bully him? See, this is why stuff doesn't happen to me. This is why stuff doesn't happen to me. Again, if you call yourself a Christian and you don't speak up about this, you're a pastor and you're not talking about this in your church, then you need to question yourself. Again, I'm not here to judge anyone. I have no right to judge anything. I've committed many wrongs in my life. But when it comes to something like this and you call yourself a pastor, leading people, and you don't say anything about this, that's a problem. He's talking about don't push me. He's in his face trying to bully this pastor. Again, this stuff doesn't happen to me because the Heisman Trophy pose would have been enacted on Don Lemon. And if you don't know what the Heisman Trophy pose is, look it up. It's a straight push to the chest. It's a straight stiff arm to the chest. And you need to get away from me right now. That's what that is.
Jesus, yes. That's why we're here. Yeah. Okay, that's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Calling yourself a Christian while interrupting a service is diabolical. That's wild behavior. That's wild behavior. This guy should be arrested. And you're like, oh, what can he be arrested for? Which is kind of crazy to charge us because it has something to do with the Ku Klux Klan. And as much as these clowns like to talk about the Ku Klux Klan and racism, as much as they like to talk about racism and the Ku Klux Klan, these dudes are pretty much doing exactly what they complain about. We have this guy, Don Lemonhead, who has openly claim that the greatest threat to America is white men. That's his claim. And if you don't know anything about Don Lemonhead, you understand that he's married to a white man. I'll repeat this. He's married to a white man. Again, his claim is that the greatest threat to America and American society is white men. He himself is married to a white man. And you guys think I'm making this stuff up, okay? You guys think I'm making this stuff up, and you know I'm not. You know I'm not. But here's a prime example of what he could be charged with and what he should be charged with.
We will pursue charges in this case. I see various crimes that have occurred. Exactly what they are, I'm not going to flag, but the FACE Act has been mentioned as one of the predicates there. In other cases, the Biden DOJ used the Klan Act conspiracy charges tacked on to the FACE Act in the case of protests outside abortion clinics to bring much longer sentences. So there are a number of tools available to us. Who funded this? What else? What other crimes may have occurred? Was there a use of the wires or the mails in preparing for this event? Did anyone cross state lines to do this? All of those are potential predicates for additional federal charges.
I've just pulled up the Klan Act because this is the first time that I've heard this mentioned. This is an act that was passed in 1871, correction there, to combat the Ku Klux Klan and protect African Americans' voting rights, especially the Enforcement Act, which is known as the Force Act. So here's some of the information on screen. Would you mind breaking down for us, because we have just read the FACE Act and how this is an affinity to the FACE Act, an obvious and egregious demonstrable violation of the FACE Act because they were entering a place of worship, harassing and threatening. We just played a video of a man, a bearded man, who was threatening to attack the Christians that were worshiping there. So it seems like an obvious FACE Act violation. But the Klan Act here, it is on screen. First time I've heard it mentioned. Can you unpack this for us, Harmeet?
Yeah, the Klan Act is one of the most important federal civil rights statutes, and it goes back to the time when President Lincoln emancipated the slaves, and yet the southern states, Dixiecrats mainly, were refusing to give them equal rights. And in fact, that you had sheriffs and you had law enforcement harassing the newly freed slaves. So the Klan Act is a law that makes it illegal to terrorize citizens, to violate their civil rights, to get together and conspire to violate the civil rights. It is.
I think that's perfectly in line to what Don Lemonhead was doing. He should be charged. He should be charged. I want to see Don Lemonhead in handcuffs, charged, taken to jail. I think that's what we all want to see. It needs to be done. Examples need to be made. Examples need to be made.
Is often used against law enforcement, but is now used against others as well. So whenever anyone conspires to violate the protected civil rights of American citizens, the Klan Act can be used to bring a conspiracy charge. We, in the federal law enforcement parlance, call this 241 and 242 civil and criminal conspiracies. And so what the Biden administration did is, if three grandmas got together to pray outside an abortion clinic for the souls of the people inside, and including the unborn children, they would say, oh, that's not just a violation of the Klan Act, that's a conspiracy to violate the civil rights of women going in there to get abortions. And so we're going to add additional charges and punish that more and make it from a misdemeanor under the FACE Act to a felony under the Klan Act. And President Trump pardoned
So from a misdemeanor to a felony, I love it. I love it. That's exactly what needs to be done. I'm glad she broke that down for us, little people to understand. But it needs to be done. And people are getting tired of this. I really think so. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to get tired of it, but we still need more voices. But shout out to Nicki Minaj. Whether you want to agree with her music or not, that's irrelevant to me right now. Because she made a post, and Nicki Minaj has been getting hate ever since she decided to support Trump because of what? You know, it's crazy because God uses people that God uses people that you think that he wouldn't use. I don't know why that just hit me, but he does. And whatever you think about Nicki, she's been getting hate, for supporting Trump or whatever. But her original gripe was Christians getting killed in Nigeria. That was her original gripe. And she called on Trump to help the Christians in Nigeria. She could have been doing anything in life. She's rich. She got money. She's famous. She's an icon to people. She could have been doing anything. Her gripe to the president was Nigerian Christians are getting killed. Can you please help them? Excuse the language, but Nicki comes out and says, I'm not going to repeat it. But Dawn is disgusting. How dare you? She wants that thug in jail. Here is the key part, and I want you guys to pay attention here. This is the key part of her post. He would never do that to any other religion. Lock him up. The key line here is the fourth line. He would never do that to any other religion. And when I tell you Christianity is under attack, it's under attack, big time. This is a Christian nation. I'll say it again. This is a Christian nation. Whether you want to believe it or not, this is a Christian nation. And it's time for Christians to actually be louder. Christians aren't loud enough. I get it. I get it. We caution ourselves on the side of peace, right? We don't want to be marching other people's establishment. We don't want to be destroying property. We don't do anything like that. That's not our motive. That's not our MO. But what we can do is speak on it and protect our property and our entities and our voice. To me right now, these other monsters' voices are louder than ours, and not enough people are talking about it on our side, on the Christianity side. Not enough people are talking about it. More people need to speak up and be loud, whether that's your personality or not. If that's not your personality, which isn't everybody, then you need to support the people that are. Because this is ugly. You have now these stupid ICE people, ICE protesters coming up into people's churches while church is going on. And the governors and people of these states are allowing it to happen and defending these people and saying that they have the right to do something like that. These are the people that tell you that white people are bad. These are the people that tell you that this country is racist. These are the people that tell you that everything is against people of color. Meanwhile, the racist rhetoric is coming from not white people. I don't get racist stuff from white people. I don't know where y'all be at, where all the KKK and the so-called radical racists are. The only people I get hate from is the woke blacks and the white liberal women. That's it. And if you're talking about on X or any social media, most people attack me don't even have photos of themselves. So they're probably bots that somebody in somebody's basement is using to attack folks. The algorithms are attacking Christian voices. The algorithms are censoring Christian voices, conservative voices. Still, to this day, even though Elon took over, it's great. We appreciate that. But it's still a level of censorship. When it comes to Christianity, when it comes to conservatism, voices are being held back. You guys have to go out and support. these voices. If you don't want to be a voice, you have to support these voices. We got to be louder. We got to stick together because the left is willing to do whatever it takes. And that's the problem with the GOP. That's the problem. The left is willing to do whatever it takes. We need to start doing whatever it takes. That doesn't mean go out and injure people or destroy property. That doesn't mean that. What it means is stand up for yourself. What it means is defend yourself. What it means is let your voice be heard. What it means is enough is enough. If I got to rally the troops, I got to rally the troops. I'm just a small time voice. Nobody really knows me, but I live in America. I'm an American citizen. I see what other people are going through. I see what potentially can happen to me and my family. I see what these government entities, these politicians, I see what they're trying to push, the agendas that they're trying to push. It's not America first. It's not American citizens first. It's not God first. We have people that aren't even from this country working in our government. They're not even loyal to this country, yet they're working for our government and putting policies that favor people from other countries and other governments that's not from the United States. I can say this now, and the next time you wake up, and it's a whole different United States because not enough people wanted to say anything. So here's the rally cry. Here's the rally cry. It's right in your face. There's no, oh, it's happening here, it's happening there, oh, it's happening in another country. No, it's happening right here, right in front of us. It's happening in your hometown. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. People have jobs. People have livelihoods. People have families that they got to take care of, which is crazy because they cry about freedom of speech. But if you speak anything conservative, you could potentially not get hired. You could potentially get fired from your job. You can't speak anything conservative, but you can talk about this other stuff. You can speak on other things. But when it comes to saying anything conservative, all of a sudden, that's a fireable offense. That's a non-hireable offense. And it's not like you're saying anything detrimental to anybody. You're just saying you love this country and the rules and regulations needs to be adhered to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wake up. It really is. The fight is now at your front door. I've been saying this for a while, that the fight is coming. The fight is here. What will you do? Will you stand up? Will you be silent? Will you speak for your religion? Will you speak for your faith? Or will you just sit to the side and say whatever happens, happens? Love y'all to death. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Willis on the Right podcast. It's Mr. Willis. Love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Peace.